'Twas a Woman's World, where we'll meet achieving women making a difference in their community. I'm Carolyn Bruna. Our guest is Renee Lee Rosenberg, a certified career transition counselor for over 30 years, known by many as the Positivity Pro and the Age Rebrander. Renee helps people to discover their passion and achieve a successful, productive, and happy career, no matter their age. She also calls herself the Anti-Ageism advocate. Renee believes that we can awaken positivity within ourselves, even during difficult times. And she'll share with us today 5 simple tools that you can practice at home that can help you to push stress and negativity aside and help you focus on staying positive in your career and your life. Actually, Renee and I have been friends for many years through the National Speakers Association. We met at a conference when we were swimming in the lazy river pool, started laughing and haven't stopped. Welcome, Renee. Well, you have a diverse background of accomplishments and experiences, and I'm excited to interview you.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. And it's true, we haven't stopped laughing, and it certainly has connected us.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes, I love that about you. And when I'm needing a laugh, I always call you. Renee, you've experienced many years working as a career coach with the New York City Teachers Union, offering outplacement services to teachers and coordinating the adult education employment programs in both public and private agencies, as well as running your own career counseling practice. Quite a lot to do. You also call yourself an anti-ageism advocate. So explain anti-ageism, please, and then tell us some of your path for becoming an advocate for it.
Okay, well, I would love to do that. It's really been a passion of mine for so many years. As a career counselor, I've worked with thousands of people who have been all ages. And as we get older, my clients have gotten older. And I find that one of the issues that have really been bothering them and have created great negativity in their job search, in their career, and in their life is this ageism, this ism that is still acceptable today, and that people still use. And when you hear about age and ageism, you think about discrimination, prejudice, and stereotyping. And when you think about that, those are 3 very difficult areas to get over when you're involved in job search. So I decided that I really needed to focus on helping my clients to look at ageism as not something that's bothering them, that's a negative, but to look at it and to get away from it and look at themselves as how they function, not at their age, not at the number, because our culture says we look at people by a number and we discriminate by a number. And Caroline, just yesterday, I saw an article that said people over 60, not to worry, because it's only people over 60 who now have more difficulty remembering things and have a shorter memory span. And I thought, what? Here we go again, 60. Now they're limiting us to 60. Truly, we have to forget about ageism. We have to forget about looking at people as a number and looking about how they function.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And 60 is young, really.
We've got many, many more years ahead nowadays.
Yes.
People are living into their 90s, 100s, and working.
Oh, absolutely. So you were telling a little bit there about how anti-ageism fit in with your career as a counselor and a positivity pro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So we're going to start talking about your 5 tools for awakening positivity. So tell me, what made you call yourself a positivity pro?
Well, I started thinking, again, working with my clients, there's so much negativity that people just incorporate into their thinking patterns when they're in job search. And thinking, really, negative thinking is simply about bad habits. And if I could stop people from being and doing and thinking negatively, but help them to be and do their best, then that was what I wanted to do. And I wanted to say that in the title of my business, which is Positivity Pro, and in the work that I do, so that people know when they come to me that I'm going to help them to stop saying negative things, stop negative thoughts, and really move forward with an awareness of who they are and what they can do. And so I've come up with Positivity Pro.
Oh,
And
I love
it's
it.
been working.
Right. It is working. I love it. I think it's a great
Mm,
name for you.
thank you.
Absolutely. Um, but, I was thinking, was there always positivity in your life?
No, actually, which is another reason why I decided to call myself the Positivity Pro. My grandmother on my mother's side was an extremely negative person, and I could feel her pain and see her suffering most of her life. She never could let go of the negativity and the experiences that she had in her earlier life when she was in Europe and came over as an immigrant. And the negativity just ruined her life. And it can be contagious. And I could see it ruining the lives of her children, which was my aunts and my mother and my uncles. And so I decided that I needed to focus on positivity.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you think people have a choice to become happier and more positive? And
Mm.
can they do this at home? And that word, the positivity movement, which is uh,
Mm.
I read a lot about it today. So tell us
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, well, the positivity movement is very popular. And I think it might have even started with, or people have gone back to Norman Vincent Peale and The Power of Positive Thinking, which he wrote in 1953. And it's still a very, very popular book. And now it's the positivity movement with Howard Seligman, who wrote a book on learned optimism. So there's a lot being said about it. There's a lot being talked about because people realize how important it is to stay positive. And yes, I do think people can learn it. I think it takes time. It takes really persistence, that people have to really want to change. But who doesn't want to change? Who doesn't want to be happy? Who doesn't want to be successful in their life and in their career? So I think more and more people now are really moving toward this positivity movement.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. But change is not easy.
No.
How can people change if they're not positive? I mean, because I do know negative thoughts come naturally to us, sometimes way too many of them, and before the positive thoughts.
Oh, absolutely. There's negative thoughts take up most of our brain and most of our daily thoughts. 75% research tells us, sometimes 80%. And they tell us that 95%, get this, Carolyn, this is really shocking. 95% of the negative thoughts that run through our brain, we repeat over and over and over again. So it's extremely important for people to focus on how can they become more positive and what can they do to change this habit. And it is a habit, really, that people have developed. And it
Hmm.
can be changed and it can be broken.
I see. Yes. And you do call these body brain positivity habits, these tools that you've developed. Yeah.
Yes,
And so, well, why did you call them that? And actually, would you just list them before we actually go
certainly.
into the discussion of them?
Certainly, certainly. So I call them the brain body positive habits. And that's what I'm going to discuss today. The first one is self-talk, positive affirmations. The next one is deep breathing, then movement, laughter, and my very favorite, indulgence.
Okay. Your very favorite indulgence. I know we're going to talk
Yeah.
about that later. Okay. Your first tool is positive self-talk. So now, how
Mhm.
can we do this self-talk to make us feel better?
Well, as I mentioned, negative thinking is simply a bad habit. And it's something that is unconscious even. We don't even know that we're thinking sometimes negative thoughts. So I've asked people if they would just be more mindful. And this is really goes along with emotional intelligence, of being more mindful and more aware of your thoughts and of the language that you use. Because so much of the language that we use is very negative. We say, I can't, I'm not able, this is the worst. And all of that is negative. So to write down some of those negative thoughts that come into your head, and then look at how you can change that and create that as a self-positive affirmation. And an affirmation is really important for changing the negative thoughts that go in your head. And an affirmation is something that really can give you the power to feel more positive about something. And to
Hmm.
start with, can I explain that? Would it be all right to tell what it
Oh,
is,
I'd love
Carolyn?
you to. Yes, because I was going to say that I know they're positive, and they are difficult to
Mhm.
create. So Please do explain
Yeah.
the affirmation.
They can be difficult. You're absolutely right. But there is a process to follow. And in thinking about how to do it and working with clients, I found that many people don't start the right way. So there's several steps. The first step is to start with I, because it's really about you. So it's I. The second step is it has to be in the present tense. It can't be in the past tense. It can't be something that you're going to do in the future or something that you've done in the past. So it's I am. And then it's going to be just 5 words, 5 to 7 words about something that you want to do differently, something that you want to change, something that you want to see success in accomplishing. So it's I am. And it could just be, I am confident I will land a great interview. It could be just as simple as that if you're going on interviews. Or I am happy and confident that I can succeed in my next job. And then to think about what does that job look like? So it becomes a visualization. So we create a self-affirmation, which becomes a visualization, and then we believe that we can do it because we're visualizing it and we see it in pictures.
Oh, I see. So I can say, I am confident that we're having a great show. And I am, actually.
I am confident that we are having, yes, that would be perfect.
Is that
and
right?
We are, yes,
Oh.
and we're actually right in it and involved in seeing it, yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, great. Because I do know I was having trouble trying to make these affirmations, even though I wanted to so much. Okay.
Yeah, so the biggest problem is not to go into the past or the future in the verb. It should always be an I am verb. That is the most important piece.
Thank you. I've got to write that down, actually. Okay, good. We've talked about self-talk and affirmations, and we're going to stop now and take a break for a short public service announcement and come back with more tips on Renee's body-brain positivity habits.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Renee Lee Rosenberg, the Positivity Pro and Age Rebrander, about her tools to develop a brain positivity habit. Let's continue. We're up to the brain habit, positivity habit number 2, deep breathing. Renee, you want to tell us about that, please?
Yes, I also call this balloon breathing, and here is my balloon. But I'm not going to demonstrate
little
it with
yellow balloon, huh?
Yes, for happiness. Yellow is a good color.
Yeah.
And if we were live, I would give you a balloon and I would get everyone here a balloon. But since we're not live and since we can't use a balloon, I'm going to ask everyone, including you, to use your fist and pretend this is the yellow balloon. And what we're going to do is we're going to practice to see how it feels to really do deep belly breathing. Many people meditate, I know, and many people also think that they're breathing deeply, and most people are, but not everyone. We really tend to be breathing from here, very shallow breath most of the time. So we really want to feel, how does it feel when we're not meditating, to breathe deeply? And this could help a lot to train the body to see how that feels, to see how the diaphragm feels when the breath is going down into the diaphragm. So fist, we blow in 3 times. And if you can only blow in once, that's fine, or twice, that's fine also, as much as you can do. But I'm going to demonstrate with 3, and you can breathe along with me and do this.
Okay. I'll try it too.
Okay. And what did you feel then? What generally happens is that after we breathe out 3 times, we then are forced to take a deep breath in through our nose, only through our nose, not our mouth, and to feel that air going down and feel the diaphragm moving. We are now working on oxygenating the blood, which is very, very important with deep breathing, because the oxygen needs to go to the brain.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I was going to say I couldn't answer you at first because my breathing was going down and I needed to finish the deep breathing. And I do feel much more calm somehow and relaxed, actually.
Yeah, so do I. It works all the time.
Oh,
So
that's
I encourage people to create this as a habit that you can actually use on your own at home with a
okay.
balloon or just your fist. Anywhere you go, you've always got your hand.
How often should people try this deep breathing, Renee?
I think it's really good to do it when you're starting to feel stress and anxious, when you're worried about something and you feel that you want to do some breathing, because most people say breathe deeply at that point. And so try it this way and see if that can make a difference.
Mhm. Okay, I will. Thank you. Thank you. Now, your next positivity habit is movement. So, and I've read a lot about movement actually and how important it is to walk. And I love walking. So, but I didn't realize how important it is for your body as well. So tell us, how does the walking fit into your scheme?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, my habits that I'm introducing are body-brain habits. So it really affects the brain, and that's really what's so important, because we want to relax the brain. And walking is really one of the most important things that you can do. Many people exercise, they run, and they feel they're exercising in the gym, and that's great. You know, that's terrific to do to relax yourself, but it's not the same as walking, because when you're exercising and when you're running, you're taking in a lot of oxygen and you're circulating the blood, and the oxygen you're taking in is then going to the muscles and the different parts of your body. It's not going directly to the brain. When you're walking, you're more relaxed and you're taking in oxygen with the blood, you're circulating the blood, and now that oxygen is going more to the brain. So the brain is getting more of the oxygen that it needs to be relaxed and to be healthy. So what researchers have been suggesting, and I suggest to my clients, is walk several times a day, 15 to 25 minutes, and that'll get you moving. It'll get the movement, the body will move, and the blood will start to circulate. The other tip that I really love to give to people, and this is something that I find nowadays with everything being virtual is very, very helpful, is that you need to take a break from sitting at the computer every 20 minutes. So that you then can circulate the blood, oxygenate a little bit, get your brain a little going, because sometimes we get a little tired after 20 minutes and we find that we're getting sluggish. So this is a great way to get yourself up and moving. Get up, I say twist your body a little bit and wiggle a little bit. And then for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, it's a 20-20. And then look out for 20 seconds, for 20 seconds, look out at something that's 20 feet away. So you're also resting your eyes. So your body's getting movement, your eyes are resting and getting relaxed, and then sit back down again. And your brain will get the oxygen that it needs to keep functioning and be alert and active so that you can do your best.
Oh, I see. I never heard that before. Say it again, 20
to
20?
20. Yep, the 20-20. Every 20 minutes, get up, move around, shake your body, shake your hands, do what you need to do for 2 minutes. At the same time, look out somewhere, look out a window, look across the room, look somewhere where you're resting your eyes away from the screen, where you're looking so closely at the screen and at the camera. And then sit down and just feel how you feel more energized and more ready to get back to work.
I see. And I really like that, looking away for 2 minutes. I'd not heard that before. And because I do know, being on Zoom too much these days, like everybody else, your eyes start bothering you. Well, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we don't think about what we're doing to our eyes, because our
No.
eyes are part of our body, and also the brain. We start to get, I know myself, when I sit too long at the computer, I start to daydream, or I start to get a little sluggish and I feel I need to get up. But if you do that every 20 minutes, then you're reminding your body. And if you can't remember, set an alarm. Set an alarm on your phone or have a little timer go off.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you. I have to go to us laughing. I know that you and I laugh a lot together at the lazy river, and that really did cement our friendship. You're right. And when I call you, it's because I want to laugh. So we know that laughing makes us feel better, but then how does laughter help the body?
Oh, yeah. Laughter is really, I heard this wonderful quote that is by Anonymous, and it's that laughter is to the soul as soap is to the body.
Wow,
Laughter is to
that's
the
a great
soul as
quote,
soap
Renee.
is to the
I've not
body.
heard
Isn't that
that one
great?
before
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, so it's important. We need it. We need our soap. We need our laughter. We can't go without it. And when you think about that, now how often do we use soap? We use it a lot. So laughter should be part of our daily activity. It should be part of who we are. And we really don't laugh enough. They've told us that children laugh between 300 and 500 times a day. And when you think about it, look at children, they're always giggling and laughing. It's only when we start to tell them, what are you laughing about, or what's so funny, they stop, because we're starting to put our adult habits into their minds. But children normally will just laugh, but adults laugh only about 5 to 10 times a day. That's a pretty sad statistic, I would say. So we need to increase our laughter quotient. We need to laugh more. We need to laugh fully and richly. Good belly laughs really help a great deal. And laughter helps the body, Caroline, because what it does is it lowers our blood pressure. It lowers our heartbeat. It helps us feel warmer. So in the winter, actually, it's a good thing to laugh. When we're outside and we're cold, just start laughing. It helps us to become more relaxed. It massages. A good belly laugh. Sometimes when you're laughing, you could probably feel your stomach starts to hurt, because what we're doing is we're exercising all of our internal organs. And it's making us feel more relaxed. And it's making us really feel that we're now in a better state of mind. It also helps to circulate the blood, which is what we're really talking about with the body-brain connection. When the blood circulates, it gets more oxygen into the blood, and that sends more oxygen up to the brain.
Wow.
And maybe you've heard of the laughing clubs of India.
Yes, I was just going to ask you about, because I have heard about groups of people who just laugh, even if things are not necessarily funny.
Yes.
So what do you think of that?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of research now that says that we don't have to laugh because it's funny. We can just laugh. And laughter, it's the same effect on our body, because the brain doesn't know the difference. It thinks when you're laughing that you're happy. And the whole result is to feel happy, because when you feel happy, you feel better about yourself, you're more energized, more productive, and the negativity goes away, the negative thoughts. So yes, laughter, you could just laugh. And we can demonstrate that now if you'd like.
Yeah, I would love that. Thank you. Because we've demonstrated the balloon breathing. Let's demonstrate the laughter.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to hold your hand on your belly, because you want to feel your belly. It's very important. If you don't feel your belly, then you're not laughing enough. And I'm just going to start laughing just for a few seconds, really. And I'd like you to
And
laugh.
I should laugh. I'm sorry. And I should laugh also on my own.
Yes, with me.
Okay, maybe our audience can laugh with us.
Oh, perfect. And we can do this alone. I do this by myself. Sometimes when I was going on interviews, and right before I'm giving a presentation, I'll start laughing just to relax myself. It's hard to stop.
Goodness gracious, I feel my belly moving, Renee.
Yeah, all your inner organs just got a little massage. And not only that, but also, and this is the best part, that your facial muscles also have gotten a massage. And so now you look younger. We look younger when we laugh, and we also look younger. And we've also, because we're using our belly and all our internal organs, and our body is really moving, we also have lost a little weight.
Wow. This laughing has lots of positive things about it, doesn't it?
A lot of positive effects from laughter. Yeah, it's really terrific. And there's been a great deal of research. If you've heard of Norman Cousins, he was diagnosed with a very dangerous, fatal disease, and he decided he wasn't going to take the medication. He was going to cure himself by using laughter. And he wrote The Anatomy of an Illness, where he talks about how he did it. And basically he found that when he laughed, and this is so amazing, for 20 minutes, that he was pain-free for 2 hours.
That sounds wonderful. Absolutely fabulous.
Very
Gosh.
powerful. Very.
Very-
And they've also discovered that when you laugh for 10 minutes, then it's like rowing in a rowing machine. So laughter is really, your whole body is really involved, and it really affects not just your mind and your brain, but your body and your well-being.
I've never heard that part before, rowing and the exertion, I guess, of it all. That's amazing. That's wonderful. Thank
Pretty
you.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go to your favorite point, indulgence. For me, self-indulgence is a chocolate cupcake. So tell me, what's your definition of self-indulgence?
Well, I don't advocate eating, but I know that you eat very
Oh.
well. So a chocolate
I do.
cupcake is perfectly wonderful thing to do. When
Thank
and
you.
also, you have my permission for that.
Okay.
Also, a dessert, it's interesting because desserts is the opposite of stressed. So if you switch the
Ah.
letters around, you've got desserts.
Oh.
So the desserts really is what we need to think about. And if it's a chocolate muffin for you, perfect. Not too many though.
No. Actually, I'm very careful, you know that. And
I know
I'm
that,
gluten-free
yeah.
and dairy-free, so mine are very healthy.
And they're very healthy muffins. I know they would
Yes.
be. And so that's great. So the indulgence should be something that's healthy, but something that makes you feel good. We need to really show gratitude to ourselves and gratitude to others. We need to show kindness to ourselves and to others. So very important to start with self-kindness. And it's kind of the airplane rule when they tell you put your mask on first, because if you don't put your mask on first, you're not going to be able to help someone else. Your child who's with you, you need to take care of yourself first. And so indulgence is really thinking about what makes you happy. What haven't you given to yourself that you would like to give to yourself? For me, it could be a beautiful walk in nature, which is also a very important way to do your walking. It's much better to walk in nature than to walk in the city and on the cement. Much better to walk on the ground with trees and flowers and all of that, and the soil. So a walk in nature for me would be an indulgence, to go someplace beautiful, maybe to the mountains. Another indulgence for me would be to dance. I like to dance. So I put on dance music when I'm feeling a little stressed, and that's my indulgence. And I just dance by myself.
I
For some
see.
other people, it could be a massage. It could be taking a warm bath, a bubble bath, perhaps. It could be calling someone you haven't spoken to in a long time, who you really want to talk to and share what's happening now in your life. So think of yourself, be kind to yourself, give to yourself, give gratitude to yourself, and give gratitude out to others also. Such a wonderful way to relieve stress and to be more positive in your life.
Thank you. You've given me lots of other examples instead of my cupcake. Renee, tell people how to get in touch with you, please.
Sure. Well, I am the Positivity Pro, and my website is Positivity Pro, and my email is it's my name without the vowels, rrsnbrg@gmail.com. So I'd love to hear from people and hear if you've been using any of these brain, body, positivity habits and how they've helped to change the negativity habits.
Renee, what are you working on next? What's your next project?
I'm working on creating a mastermind group for a positive job search for people over 50. So anyone interested, please let me know.
Thank you, Renee. I hope you've enjoyed meeting our guest, Renee Lee Rosenberg, and you've picked up a few tips about awakening positivity within that you'll use. Let us know what's worked for you. If you have an idea for a show, share it with us. We'd love to hear it. We're Women's World TV at AOL.com. Remember, it's a woman's world. I'm Carolyn Bruna. See you next time.